everybody. Welcome to Women Who Write. And actually, there aren't too many women in this room who write. And the people who are reading to us aren't women. So it's just a crap name. So just ignore it. I wanted the www.ww, and I couldn't get it. So it was all for naught. But anyway, I am a woman who writes.
Yeah,
and I do still have. Gary said, what happened to your boobs? I still have boobs.
Yeah.
Anyway, men are going to be the death of me. I want to tell you a little bit about tonight.
Oh, what a great death. What a great death.
What a great death. What a way to go. Yeah, okay. So this is what happened. Early October, I decided, okay, we're going to do Women Who Write in New York in December like I do for the last couple of years. So the first person I called, the very first person I called, was Gary. Because Gary and I go back 20 years. And Gary had a book that was dropping. They call me Baba Booey. It was dropping in November. And I thought, oh, how perfect will that be? He'll come with his book and we will buy the book. Everybody in this room will buy a book. Yeah. And how wonderful. And so for 6 weeks, Gary said yes. Gary said, no, I don't know. No, he never said yes. He said, maybe. This is the story of my life with men. Maybe. Okay, so that was that. The very next day, I called Robert Klein. No, I didn't call Robert. Where is he? I called Bob Stein, who is Robert's musical director, where's Stacy? Yeah, because we go way back. And actually, at Bob's 50th birthday party, Robert and I sat at the same table, and you don't even remember that, do you?
We had Louie.
That is such a good guess. We did. And we had many other things. And anyway, so I met him then, but he doesn't remember that. But anyway, and I had tried to get him over the summer, and I couldn't because he had something else to do. So Bob said, okay, Robert, he worked on him. He worked on him for weeks and weeks and weeks, and finally said, Robert's going to do it. He said, but, if he gets a gig, I said, I understand. If he gets a gig, he's out. So he said, but we'll know that a month in advance, because the way bookings work, are you guys cold? Because I'm warm.
Yeah.
I'm cold? All right. So, it's a little chilly. All right, just 1 minute. So when a month came, and then, I'm going to get to that, but October 17th, a very good friend of ours passed away, very suddenly, and he was a huge Howard Stern fan, and he was a huge Gary fan, and he was a huge Robert Klein fan, and when I had told him the week before that they were both doing it, and, Gary wasn't doing it, but I thought I might be able to talk him into it. So, anyway, we had talked about it, and so what's happened since, and then James Grissom, I asked to read along with us because he is sick funny. So when you get home on Facebook, friend James Grissom because, you make me laugh. And the reason why those guys are here, you'll hear about in a couple minutes. But anyway, so what ended up happening is Gary told me 2 weeks ago that he could not do it, that he was very sorry, but he just couldn't do it. There were pressures elsewhere, and he was not going to be able to do it. And I was really crushed, but I was, okay. So that was that. That was my first disappointment. Except then a week later, no, I think it was the next day, I got a call from Robert's manager that he got Law & Order. And he said, I'm going to do what I can so that Robert gets out early enough or they try to switch the date. So for 24 hours, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, I didn't move from my chair. I didn't go to the bathroom. It was really horrible. And then I got the call the next day, Robert, oh no, I had to wait 4 days over the weekend. And then I got the call on Monday that Robert was probably not going to get out on time, that I had to book somebody else. So I called Gary back, and I thanked him as a personal favor to me, because we have a little history, which you'll hear about later. And he said, maybe. So he said, I think I'll do it. But, okay, so I called every single person that I could think of. I called Joan Rivers' office. I called Whoopi Goldberg's office. I called Dennis Leary's office. I called Marla Thomas' office. I called Lily Tomlin's office. And guess what? Because I made all those phone calls, none of them said yes to me now, but some of them are going to do it in the future. Yeah. Okay, so there was a reason that Robert fucked me over because that should happen to you. Okay, so then, the day I was getting ready to come to New York, Gary said yes. And Gary saved my ass. Saved my first call. And Gary is the hero. And my mother said, you have to tell everybody. You have to tell them that Robert's not funny. You have to tell them. And I said, no, because I have faith. So I was running the risk. Now, okay, if I had not told you and Robert had not come, would you have forgiven me? Would you have been mad at me? Would you have been disappointed? Would you have been like upset and then crushed? Say yes, he's sitting right there. What do you think? Come on. Yes. But he's here. Because at 4:30 he called me and said, and I knew he was here. Okay, so we have like the best of everything. We have the lineup, the exact lineup that I dreamt of. And the reason why, well, we'll get to that. Okay. So now I have to read. And I need a tissue just in case. Okay. Okay, so I did all of that. Before I start, I just want to say, before I get to that stuff, so you know it was for sheriff that this should happen, and that means meant to be, as it really was. And my astrologer, Zoe Moon, assured me that this was going to work out for the best today, and she was absolutely right, because Jupiter and Mars and Saturn and everything, and there's a solar eclipse, and it was all really good for Scorpio, so it was meant to be a good day. Okay, everybody please thank Honey for doing her. I want to thank Tom Mortensen, who came, my producer, Short Coper, who is another one who is going to... Harry Hamlin canceled on me a week before November in LA. My producer was supposed to send a film crew out. Are they here? No, they're not here. But Marc Hochlerin is. And Tom Mortensen, who gave us the equipment. I think I no. Who gave us the camera to use. And I want to thank Alex Cohn, who wrote that fabulous article in Woman Around Town. And, okay, and who else? And special thanks to Rick Smolke, who is my guardian angel, who makes so much work for me, and Zoe Moon, who's always got my front, he's got my back. I'm good. Okay. 25 years ago, I was a rock and roll promoter. I booked a little club in the village called the Rock and Roll Cafe. It was on Bleecker Street, and I doled out gigs to the most amazingly talented bunch of lunatics that I've ever known. It was a little slice of heaven. The creme de la creme rocker creme was a cover band named BAC. Their musician and showmanship were unparalleled. So were their mouths and their swagger. They were Booker pets. Any Saturday night they wanted, they got. And they got a lot. As the years passed and the venues changed, I took BAC along with me, but it became more and more challenging as each of their stars continued to rise. Hughie Carroll, the bassist, was the rock. The constant, except when he left to tour Europe for a while. Tony Bruno, whose guitar licks rivaled Beth for me, could sing AC/DC and ZZ Top better than they can sing themselves. He hit pay dirt with Danger Danger, Soraya, Joan Jett, Iggy Pop, and many others, and then he landed with Enrique Iglesias about 12 years ago, and has been his musical director ever since. Oh yeah, and he's also added a little pop star named Rihanna. Yeah. Tommy Byrnes was already a rock star when I met him. He'd been playing with Brian Setzer, and he was making a little record with then unknown Taylor Dane entitled Tell It to My Heart. He toured with Enrique, Joan Jett, wrote Mandy Moore's hit It's Gonna Be Love for the film A Walk to Remember, and has served as Billy Joel's guitarist and musical director for about 2 decades. And he was also the musical consultant and guitarist for Broadway's Moving Out. Currently, he's doing double Joel duty, producing Billy's daughter Alexa's new CD. He's a monster talent and a bona fide